Chalo. We're going to discuss which essay. Essay 570. Yeah, 580. You can put a heading over here near this written representation. Essay 580 if it is not written. Okay. Giving a just what is written representation. I told you sometimes no, an auditor no. We can ask a written representation from whom? From the management or sometimes TCWG, depending on the situation. Take care. What will we ask in writing? Ki you have feelings for me. I love you. Then something if we want to confirm or to support. Either we want to confirm certain matters or we want to support some other audit evidence. But we have got one audit evidence, but we are not fully satisfied with it. We want something to support it. Take care. For example, I asked the management, how many related parties are there? They told Muse. From out they told 3. And financial statements they were 3. But I want to support this evidence. Ki from mouth he has told 3. Sir, you give it to me in writing also. So that this audit evidence is supporting this audit evidence. Understood? Kya? For essay 560, 570, which we're going to do now in the next recordings, 560, 570, you will see if for 560, 570, we ask them written representation. Even if you have got audit evidence regarding subsequent events, going concern, still we will tell them to give it in writing, right? Whatever audit evidence we have gathered on subsequent events, give us some supporting evidence also. Understood? Or to confirm on certain matters, write the preparation presentation of financial statements. You would have written so many things. Nahi likha? Likha hai na wahi pe, there only, near the definition. यहाँ पे एरो मार्क डाल के लिखा है ना, this page है, see this page, you would have written somewhere here, एरो मार्क डाल. हाँ, ठीक है ना? कहाँ की ढूंढ रहा है ये? Understood क्या? Just a minute. Hello. Yes. Hello. Yes. Madam, na konja meeting irukku na phone put. Sir, I term insurance. I don't want term insurance. I will die tomorrow. Nothing will happen. Taken. Confirm certain matters or to support other audit evidence. What is the most important thing? The definition. A written representation is nothing but a written statement which is given by the management provided to the auditor to confirm certain matters or to support other audit evidence. Very important. It is directly provided to the auditor. Understood kya? Who has to give it to whom? Management has to give it to the auditor. Can written representation can be used as audit evidence? Yes, but it is not sufficient appropriate audit evidence. It is necessary audit evidence. Written representations provides only necessary audit evidence. They do not provide sufficient audit evidence. You think and tell me, without checking entire audit, I will just cast written representation. Can you do it? Huh? Sab sahi hai. Management give everything in writing that everything is right. If that is the case, 30 crores Deloitte has taken for Reliance audit. Huh? 10 seconds job it can do. So then it can give necessary audit evidence. It will not give you sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Sufficient appropriate audit evidence, you'll have to gather it. Understood kya? Any doubts kya? So written representations are an important source of audit evidence. If management modifies or does not provide the requested written information, what will happen? It will alert you. Okay? So you think that if you're telling management to write something and give, and it's saying no, orally you take it. Writing I will not give. Why are they doing like that? Because some kind of fraud they are doing. He is going orally, writing day, come back here. Understood kya? What is the objective? Very important. Will you mark this objective? Yes. They ask us a question. Okay, what is the purpose, whole purpose of this obtaining of WR? What is it? First one, we obtain WR because we want to check whether they believe that they have fulfilled the responsibility of preparation and presentation of financial statements and also completeness of the information provided to the auditor. Two things. One, preparation of FS and one, completeness of information. Array, if you remember management responsibility, to give us 3 rights. One of the right was to give us the full information which is required. So we will take it in writing that, hey, see, I am not your management. I don't know what is there in your books of accounts. You have to give it to me in writing that whatever information you are supposed to disclose, you have disclosed it. On the basis of that only I am going to do the audit. Any doubts? Kya? To support any other audit evidence, the supporting one. To support it. And finally, to respond appropriately. To what? See, if you ask them written representation, they give it to you. You have to respond in that case also. Okay, whether the written representation is reliable or not reliable. Second case, if you ask written representation but they are not giving it to you, in that case also you have to respond. How will you respond? You'll talk to DCWG, you'll try to perform alternative audit procedures. Nothing works, directly go and modify your opinion. Understood kya? 3 points. From whom written representations are requested by auditor? Wow! Beautiful question. If they would have not put this, it would have been very difficult for us to identify. We would have written from the engagement team. Then written representation about management's responsibility. There's a hidden question over here. This 3 points. Okay, what are these 3 points along with this entire thing? Entire thing is important. Not till here it is important. What is this? See what happens sometimes. No, management may not be expert in a particular area. For example, take these insurance companies. They will hire somebody called as actuaries. These actuaries are the ones who calculate that risk and liability, because management are not that expert. They are good in normal entries, normal valuation, etc. But if it is a complex machinery whose valuation they cannot do, they'll have to call those engineers who will do that valuation. They'll have to call those actuaries. Correct or not? So sometimes management will hire some expert in making their financial statements. Correct or not? So that is the question, that give examples of who are those experts. An actuary, an engineer, or an internal counsel. Why internal counsel? To make those provisions and all, no, for losses and all for those people. They literally ask these questions. Management no are responsible for preparation of FS, but sometimes they will hire experts for preparing a particular area. Who are those experts? So basically write the basic one. Okay, the primary responsibility of preparing the FS lies with the management. They are responsible for preparation, presentation of financial statements, but for few areas, due to similarity, in some cases management may decide to make inquiries of others who participate in the preparation. For example, those individuals are actuary, staff engineers, internal counsel. Right, this much 4 marks given. What is this paragraph? Please circle the word this qualifying language. Circle this word qualifying language. Okay. If you have seen an auditor's report, if you talk to any, some of your papa's friends or something like that, they will always, talk funny things about us, chartered accountant. But not funny exactly, they will try to insult us. You know why? In what way? We take so much of fee, we check so much of thing, but still in the auditor's report, we give only dash assurance. Reasonable assurance. And the worst part, in the opinion paragraph, no, we write one sentence. You know what is that sentence? To the best of the knowledge and the information provided to us, we are giving this opinion. That means we're not taking on our head. We are telling whatever information has been given, and to the best of my knowledge, I am giving this. This is a qualifying language. Qualifying language, we are not giving anything concrete. Correct or not? Qualifying language is called, because we're not giving anything 100%. Similarly, when management is giving us written representation, even they can use this qualifying language. For example, I told management, give us in writing how many related parties are there. They can write it. To the best of our knowledge and information, there are 3 related parties. Can the management give such language? Yes, they can. They can give this language in the written representation. Now it is on you whether you want to rely on that or you don't want to rely on that. If you know the integrity of the client is good, they don't cheat, faltu mein, and you have got proof also, because ultimately you're going to open up financial statements to check how many related parties are there. If you have seen 3 only, that 4th one, you accept that qualifying language. But if you don't want to accept that qualifying language, don't accept. Then you'll have to perform additional audit procedures to find the audit evidence. But can the auditor accept qualifying language? Yes. Is it like you should not accept it? No. There's an MCQ on this particular paragraph in your book back MCQ. Okay. Is it mandatory that the auditor has to accept it, or is it mandatory that the auditor should never accept it? No. Auditor can accept the qualifying language. You want to see it is here somewhere. Yes, sir. Phone, no? Okay, take. I'll just. So I was showing that particular MCQ. See, as regards use of qualifying language in written representation, which of the following is most appropriate? Qualifying language in written representation is compulsory. Is it compulsory that management has to use a qualifying language? Nowhere it is like that. Such a wording dilutes the intent of written representation. However, it can be accepted by an auditor only in exceptional circumstances. No, it purely based on his own judgment. Written representation should be unconditional only. That means never use qualifying language. No, the best is this. It is reasonable for the auditor to accept such wording in the auditor is satisfied that the representations are being made by those persons who are appropriate responsibilities and knowledge of the matters. For example, if the written representation is related to some sales related, then who is the most appropriate person? The sales manager. If it is given by purchase manager, don't accept it, correct or not? Understood what I'm trying to tell? So written representation must be given by that person who has that responsibility, who has the knowledge of that matter. Don't take a written representation from the peon. Understood? Take it. Any doubts? No doubts. Again, first one was written representation regarding preparation of FS. Second one was those information. They have to give us all information, additional information, unrestricted access. Those points have been written. Why written representation about management responsibilities are necessary? Very simple. The question is over here. Generally, we do ask written representations because it is necessary in the purpose throughout our audit. If few areas we want to confirm, we want to support other audit evidence, that is why written representations are necessary. But the question is, it is particularly appropriate. That means written representation in these areas, written representation in these areas, it is particularly important. You take it. What are those areas? First one, those who sign the terms of audit engagement. When you joined as an auditor, no engagement letter would have been signed between you and the management. Those who sign, no, those people no longer have those relevant responsibilities. Second one, the terms of audit engagement were prepared in a previous year. Third one, there is any indication that the management has misunderstood their responsibilities. So better take a written representation. Again, changes in any circumstances which you feel it is better to take a written representation. So in these four areas, it is always better to take a written representation. Understood kya? Description of the management responsibility in the written representation, skip. Other written representation. What are the other written representation which the auditor can ask? What are those? First one, whether the selection and application of accounting policies are appropriate. They have selected SLM, straight line method. Give us in writing that what you selected is appropriate according to you. Then, whether matters such as following, where relevant under the AFRF, have been recognized, measured, presented or disclosed in the AFRF. What are those points? First point, their plans, their intentions that may affect the carrying value or classification of assets and liability. They did not classify an asset under short term, they have classified under long term. Taken up. Sir, why did you do like this? Sir, because of this and this reason. Okay, give it to me, writing. Okay, why did you classify this asset as a short term asset and not as a long term asset? Fixed asset basically. Understood kya? Or if they have any plan or intention that is going to affect the carrying value. Carrying value, if you know, whenever there is a diminution in the investment, if it is a long term, only if it is a permanent diminution, you have to bring it down. If it is a short term, you have to bring it down. So it depends on their own intentions. If they're like, no, sir, this is a long term investment. Okay, sir, long term investment. Give it to me in writing, because that will affect the valuation of that particular investment. So give it to me in writing. Second one, liabilities. If there are any contingent liabilities, if I ask how many contingent liabilities are there, like no contingent. Give it to me in writing. Understood? Yeah. Title, control over assets and liens or encumbrances on the assets or assets pledged as collateral. Taken up. Sir, you have taken a loan from a bank. What collateral did you give? Sir, no collateral. Take it. Give me to me in writing that this loan doesn't have any collateral. Understood? For a safer side, yeah. There are other things also. What? You can confirm it with the bank. You can open up the loan agreements. You cannot do solely on written representation. Sometimes you'll have to support your other audit evidence. Yes. Or for any aspects, law, regulation, contractual agreements that may affect the financial statements. That means anything which is affecting the financial statements regarding compliance, non-compliances, if they are giving you some answer, you can ask them for in writing also. Understood kya? Additional written representation about information provided to the auditor. In addition to the information which you are giving, if I want any more information, that also you have to give it to me. Written representation about specific assertions. What is it? You have to mark this till here. Till here. What is it? Here the question is, when obtaining evidence about what? About judgments, about intentions, about whose judgment intention? Management judgment and intentions. The auditor may consider one or more of the following. What is it? Whenever you're using the judgments of a management, whenever you're seeing the judgments of the management, any evaluation, please consider the entity's past history. Because on the past history, you can judge them for the current year also. Entity's reason for choosing a particular course of action. They did not keep SLM, they selected as WDV. Why? Why did they select? Taken up. Then entity's ability to continue pursue a specific course of action. They told okay, next year we're going to expand one more branch. Check the feasibility also. No? Taken up. Check if management is having that ability to select a specified course of action. The existence or lack of any other information that might have been obtained during the course of audit may be inconsistent with the management's judgment or intent. You would have asked management about their judgment. They would have given some reply to it. You got some audit evidence about it. Now both are contradicting. Understood? That point also you have to consider. Most important, this was covered in your September 24 attempt. This one. Date, period covered by written representation. What is the date period? You think and tell me, can you sign an order's report before you have obtained the site? Can you sign an order's report before you have obtained site? No. Make sure that all the written representations which you have received should be on or before the date of auditor's report. Because if you get anything after the date of auditor's report, mental papa, audit report is signed. Now what will you do? Do Aarti with the written representation? because the date will be there on the written representation. If your auditor's report is 10th July, okay, na, and the written representation is 12th July, what 10th July you signed and you gave the opinion, what 12th July you will do, correct or not? So date should always be on or before the date of auditor's report, but not after the date of auditor's report. Understood? Periods covered. Periods covered. Just now we did one essay from your this thing, auditor's report chapter. What was that? Essay 7, 10, comparative information. We learned somewhere कि if we are giving opinion on the corresponding figures, whatever figures or financial statements are covered in the current area, current financial statements, you can ask written representation of those particular years also. Understood kya? For example, I am doing audit of 22, 23, but comparative affairs like 21, 22 also I am doing. No, I can ask written representation for 21, 22 also. Correct or not, yeah? Can the management tell no? Illa, you will have to give the written representation. The management will tell. There can be a chance, no? Till last year, the entire management was a complete set of person. This year, the management got changed completely. Then this year management will tell, Atisha, don't ask your last year ka written representation. We were not there. You will have to give. Company is the same only. No, you get me written representation. Understood kya? So even if the management has changed, the auditor can still have the rights to ask the written representation. So date point covered. Periods, any period what are covered under your audit, whatever period is covered under your audit, ask written representation for all those periods. And last May, if the management still changes, you can still ask for those period also. Understood? This is very bogus. One MCQ is there, which is very bogus. Written representation kahan gaya wo? The written representation shall be in the form of representation letter addressed to the auditor. The MCQ was like this. The written representation is addressed to whom? Auditor, management, TCWG. Tick, auditor. English address to, few students take management and give. They were like, Atisha, management only given a WR. Array, the question is to whom it is addressed. It is addressed to the auditor. See, no, on the letterhead of the company, to PJ Shrimal, Chartered Accountants. So who is giving it to whom? Management is giving it to the auditor. Understood kya? This entire box not required to be read. Entire box not required to be read. Then, doubt as to the reliability of written representation. You would have written a summary of this answer. Am I right? What was that summary? First, perform other audit procedures. Check the competence, integrity, and ethical values of the management. Then, reliability of any other written representation. And last May, consider the impact on your auditor's report. Essay 705. For example, the question talks about if auditor gets some doubt on any of the written representation, I am not able to rely on it because I find something which is misstatement in the management. Then first you try to perform alternative or additional audit procedures. Then you'll have to reconsider, recheck what the integrity, competence, ethical values of yourself, of the management. Understood kya? Then what was the third point which I told? Then what will happen? You'll have to check the reliability of other written representations also. Because you think once a person has lied to you, next time will you trust him easily? No. Similarly, if one written representation you have got doubts, now your human psychology will tell that other written representation also might be something wrong. So check the reliability of other written representation. If nothing works out, last May you can go to your auditor's report. You can modify your opinion. Understood? They have given also. You can give requirement. You can give more focus towards disclaimer of opinion, because when do we give disclaimer? When we don't have SI, no written representation, no audit evidence, no SI. Understood? Kya? Requested written representation not provided. There's a question. They'll ask you a case study. Auditor was appointed as an audit of this company. He asked for a written representation, but the management has refused it. What shall the auditor do? Puja. What puja? First, discuss the matter with the management. Hey, management, come here, sit, drink this tea. What is your problem? Why are you not giving me the written representation? Then you'll have to reevaluate the integrity of the management. He will give some reply. Now you'll have some doubt on the integrity. Integrity, honesty. You'll have some doubts here. This management, no cheating only. Some kind of misstatement is there. And last, take appropriate action, including determining the possible effect. Why possible effect? Because we don't have evidence in the auditor's report, and change your opinion in accordance with SA 705. Give more focus to disclaimer of opinion. Then, disclaimer of opinion is to be given in case of non-reliability of written representation regarding management responsibility or failure to provide such representation. Two cases we will give disclaimer of opinion. What are the two cases? If management responsibility related written representation are not given by them, or if they fail to provide us written representation, in both the cases, what will we do? We will give a disclaimer of opinion. Understood kya? Any doubts kya? No doubts क्या